I don't know, man. Like deciding between Citadel and Optiver
takes a small amount of time.
I was really, staring at the ceiling a very long time, thinking hard.
Did you consult with your parents or anybody like that?
Mm-hmm. Multiple times. Every day I was gone.
Every day?
At the,
how many days is this?
Is that hard 2 weeks.
That hard of a decision?
It was tough, man.
You took the full 2 weeks?
I took the full 2 weeks to decide.
Okay. And what did your parents say every time? They said Optiver, yeah?
No, they said, they flip back and forth. They'll support you.
Really?
Yeah.
Did your parents, were they split? Like one was Citadel, one was Optiver, one was like...
At the beginning, they were pretty receptive to Optiver. And then I told them about, Citadel pays more and they fly you out to Florida.
What?
And they give you AirPods.
This is the first time I'm hearing this. They fly you out to Florida?
Yeah, did I not send you the... We can show a little screenshot of the thumbnail of Stephen Chu's video. They flew everyone out to the Four Seasons Hotel in Palm Beach.
For what?
For a week, and they did some events there.
Is this like a prospective intern thing?
No, There's the 1 week of the internship was in Palm Beach, Florida.
What the fuck? Did you confirm that this thing would happen to you as well for your internship?
The recruiter said, we did this last year. We're looking to do something similar this year.
Wow.
And then I turned it down.
The fuck are these companies doing, man? It's just so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Optiver seems like the better company to work for.
So you had these discussions. Citadel. Wait, so Citadel actually pays more.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even though Optiver literally offered you the bag and then some, Citadel offered you the bag and then another bag and then some more.
Actually, the pay for the summer was similar at both.
Okay. But were you looking at...
I was looking at the return offer and then, career growth after that.
Career growth?
I guess you can say compensation growth.
Okay.
After that. So I don't know. It seems like, who knows? I don't think you can go wrong at either company.
Yeah, I really don't think so. So after these 2 weeks, I'm going to assume these 2 weeks have ended and you've come to a decision.
Have I not told you?
You have not told me.
Wow, right here.
But hey.
Do this first on the podcast.
The thing is, before you say anything, I want to congratulate you though. Because the fact that you haven't told me means you stuck to your commitment of not talking about internship stuff, which I applaud you for.
Thank you.
So congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, now you can spill the beans.
The night before. Okay, so the deadline was yesterday.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Did you decide yesterday?
I decided yesterday at 4:30 p.m.
When the deadline was 5?
Deadline was 5 Central, so it was an hour and a half before the deadline.
Fucked it up.
Yeah, so both my parents said to go with Citadel.
Okay.
In the end, after much debate and long, hard discussion. I was like, okay, Citadel it is.
And then you switched to Optiver.
And then at 4 p.m. I had a meeting with the great, revered Mark Stellick, and I asked him for some sage wisdom.
Ooh.
And Mark said, go with Optiver.
Why did he say go with Optiver?
He asked me some questions. He was like, what are your thoughts on these companies? Okay. How do they compare? And then I said, it seems like Citadel, both of them are great, right? Citadel pays a bit more, significantly more, I guess. In the first year, that's
significantly more post-intern.
Yeah, post-intern. The actual internship package was like the same, pretty much. That's like inconsequential, right?
I don't think it's inconsequential.
Well, if you can expect your income to grow, then it's inconsequential, I think.
But it depends on how much it grows by, right? Mm-hmm. So...
And also, they're both very large sums of money.
Yes. Yes.
So, yeah. And then, the work is going to be similar, both. I was only considering Citadel Securities. which is the market maker, and Optiver is also a market maker.
So did you have like a choice between the two types of Citadel?
Yeah.
Really? Like
Yeah.
they offered you that choice in the internship?
Yeah, so technically when you apply to Citadel, you're applying to 2 companies.
Okay.
Citadel and Citadel Securities.
And what's the difference?
Citadel Securities is a market maker, which
Okay.
means that they it's like providing liquidity to the market. They sort of make sure everything's well lubricated in the in the market.
Okay. And then
to like ensure the prices are like optimal and whatever, like things are going efficiently.
And the normal Citadel.
And Citadel is the hedge fund. They're the ones that like make bets on the stock market.
Oh.
The market maker, their goal is to like have 0 risk. Every like bet they make a counter bet to hedge it, and so they take on no risk. All they do is, I don't know, their profit has to do with the spread between the ask and the bid, whatever it's called. I don't know anything. I'm gonna learn in the internship all this finance jargon.
Mm-hmm.
So, what was I saying? Yeah. So you're applying to both companies, and then they'll like extend you an offer to one of them or both of them. So I got offers from both. Yay.
Yay. Alright.
Which actually complicates the decision because I have to pick one of them, right? And if I pick Citadel, the hedge fund, the matching process like happens in the interview. So I already had offers from teams, and so if I picked Citadel, the hedge fund, I would have had to pick the team also. So really, it was 4 decisions.
Could you describe some of the teams that you were extended to in Citadel?
Yeah, it was I think equities and quantitative research or something, I think it's called.
Okay.
And the other one was equities engineering.
Okay.
So EQR like makes a platform for research. Right? It's a research team. So basically, they support the quant researchers. You know, like viewing data in different ways and analyzing it.
So you gotta create matplotlib in C++.
Yeah, I guess that kind of thing. But, sort of, I guess it's like a really big data processing thing, right? So there's like a lot of like distributed systems, and
ooh,
so it's like
ooh,
yeah, it seems interesting, right? The thing about Citadel, the hedge fund, though, is that it has a reputation like even worse than
Citadel Securities.
Yeah, it's like the work-life balance. I mean, by reputation, I mean the work-life balance is intense. It's like it's gonna be long hours. But like the reputation in terms of like prestige and the work quality is of course like top tier. So,
okay.
The other one was equities engineering, which does all kinds of things for traders. It's not a quant team, so like the traders they support are fundamentals based, which is like not quant. It's like different.
I'm nodding my head like I understand.
Yeah, I don't really understand either. I just know some words because I'm just regurgitating. I met with the heads of these teams
during the interview process.
No,
or afterwards.
After they extended the offer. So I found out a little bit about what they do. It's like a little bit over my head, but yeah, they're cool dudes. They're friendly. I asked both of them about the work-life balance, and they said, yeah, I mean, they don't work weekends or nights, which is good. But, you know, they're like 12-hour days. So it's not for everyone, you know. I think very frequently.
Very frequently?
Yeah. I like the second one, the head of equities research. I spoke to him, and I was like, yeah, it's a reputation for being intense and stuff. And he was like, yeah, it's pretty intense. So yeah, okay. But it's something that they're like trying to improve and work on, though, which I respect, I guess.
I feel like that's something they say.
Yeah.
I wonder how much that's actually put into action.
That's true, because he brought up a good point, right? Like, if you're constantly pressed for time, right? Working long hours, just trying to meet a deadline. You tend to like cut corners in some places, and you make bad decisions technologically. So, like it makes business sense to want to fix that, right?
Yeah. But it also means you're spending less time and you have to push back deadlines as well, right?
Yeah, that's true. But like, if the code you're pushing is higher quality, maybe it's worth it.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
So you had these two from normal Citadel, and then you had another two from Citadel Securities?
No, so Citadel Securities, the matching process happens later. It's
Okay.
like, I think Facebook is similar, right? You have, oh, did you? Hey guys on the podcast, Patrick got Citadel. I mean, not Citadel, Facebook.
I got Citadel, yeah.
Facebook, congratulations. Yeah. Matching process happens later. I never heard that from anybody at Citadel Securities. I think there was an info session the day I got the offer, but I kind of didn't pay attention at all, so I didn't get much out of it.
Okay.
So I didn't really know anything. I asked the recruiter if she could like schedule a meeting with me and somebody. She never replied.
Agnes?
No, the
Enox.
Don't say the names of the recruiters.
I don't care. I'm putting them on blast. They have terrible response times. They need to improve.
I'm sure they have to handle a lot of applicants though.
Okay, I'm sure that there's a lot of companies that have to handle a lot of applicants and they have better response times.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. Yeah, I mean that's part of the reason why I rejected Citadel.
Oh, okay. So we were gonna get there, but
oh yeah, sorry. I think I was.
I think you had suggested that when you set up your story.
Yeah. So, by contrast, so I basically after the first offer call, I never heard from a recruiter ever again, except for 2 a.m. every day. I get a reminder from some recruiter. I don't know, saying like congratulations. No. I got an email at 2 a.m. every day automatically without fail. Since I got the offer, reminder. Sign your offer documents. Congratulations. We look forward to working with you. And then, yeah, I'm going to get another one tonight because I haven't actually rejected Citadel officially yet.
But hasn't their deadline like...
No, so Citadel deadline is on Monday.
Oh,
It was 2 weeks for both. I found out on Thursday and then
yeah.
So
either way, you were, after these 2 weeks of talking with your parents, they had moved you towards the Citadel direction. Mm-hmm. Did they have any preferences between Citadel or Citadel Securities?
Citadel Securities, I think, it's more like SWE focused, right? Because the market making is, I don't know, there's some like more interesting technological problems to solve with market making. Yeah, and Optiver is also a market maker, so it's like similar story. Yeah. By contrast, the Optiver process was like amazing. Like the recruiter called me multiple times on the phone, to like check up on me and see how I was doing and like help me make my decisions or anything else I can do.
Yeah. I understand how that's more personable. I personally wouldn't maybe find it more annoying, but I would have been okay with not being called either.
No. She asked if I was like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah. It was like a back and forth.
So she like checked in with you multiple times during those 2 weeks.
Yeah, and then I asked her if I could get connected with a CMU alum. Not only, was it like somebody who had interned there before, right? And somebody who had returned full time. It was like a CMU alum that I got to talk to, who also graduated in 3.5 years, like I was planning on doing. It was like great, I got to talk with the tech lead one-on-one. see like what the work culture is like. The culture seems great, very transparent. You know, it's like a complete like opposite of Citadel.
How did you get that sense? That was very transparent, very good.
Well, I think they were very open about talking about compensation. Okay. I think that's one thing that I noticed. They're extremely open about. They tell you exactly how compensation is calculated. You got these marbles.
Metaphorical marbles or actual marbles?
No, they're metaphorical.
Okay.
What a marble represents is a share of the company's profit. And everybody gets some number of marbles, okay? I think you start off, well, in the first year you don't get any marbles, and then after the first year you get, depending on how well you did, somewhere around 50 marbles. And the marble represents a share of the profits, right? And so if it tracks linearly with how well the company does, right? So if the company does really well, people do really well. It's not like, I mean, I don't know how Citadel does it, because they didn't say. But it's very possible that if Citadel does extremely well, like the desk heads and the portfolio managers will super linearly scale up their pay, right? While everybody else gets like sublinear growth. And so yeah, it's like that's really nice. And they tell you like there's a modifier that gets applied to the marbles and that affects your bonus, and there'll be some base pay. Like they're extremely open. They encourage you to share. You know, like the in the info session, the guy was saying all this. Like we encourage people to share. We're very transparent. And then one kid in the audience asked him, "How many marbles do you make?" He was like, "Touche."
Did he answer?
He makes 1,700 marbles.
How much does a marble represent of like the total
share? I don't. It's not like a percentage, but typically year to year, the value of a marble is a certain amount. In 2020, which was a very exceptional year. Okay, by the way, the guy that was giving the presentation is like the CEO of the U.S. base. Okay.
Oh, okay.
so I want to temper the number I'm about to tell you. In 2020, that was $11 million.
All the marbles that he had.
Yeah, just the marbles. That's the bonus. Yeah, 11 million. So, and that's on top of his base salary. And
that's probably pretty high.
Mm-hmm.
As a CEO, yeah.
He's not the CEO of Optiver. It's like because Optiver is a Dutch company.
Yeah, the American branch or whatever. So basically, talking with your parents, they're leaning you towards Citadel.
Mm-hmm.
During this 2-week process, I'm assuming you also did some research online about like Citadel.
Yeah, I read many Team Blind threads.
Is that the main resource you use?
But people talk a lot on there, you know?
Yeah.
r/CS career questions doesn't have anything.
Yeah. Probably because nobody on there could get into Optiver and Citadel.
I made a Reddit post though on r/CS career questions.
Yeah.
Asking Optiver versus Citadel securities.
And
so if anybody's in my position and they Google that, they're gonna come across my Reddit post now.
Ooh. Exposed now.
Mm-hmm.
You're exposing your Reddit name.
No, I made a throwaway for it.
Oh fucking hell. And did anyone reply to that?
Yeah. So basically, I got 2 replies. The first one said you should focus more on the work-life balance, and then the second one said, I don't think that Optiver pay is too much different than Citadel, at least with like the internship version nowadays. And then immediately somebody replied to that one saying, that's not true. Citadel's like significantly more. And then he deleted his comment, the top level thread. So.
Why did he delete his comment?
I have no idea.
Citadel management got him.
Yeah. And then I asked about like the relative prestige of the companies. I asked like as a response to the first guy. And it was like, yeah, they're both like pretty good. Virtually unheard of, he said, outside the industry, which I mean, maybe is true. Because I hadn't heard of Optiver before applying. Citadel is like notorious, right?
I only heard of Citadel from
GameStop stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So still kind of.
That's not like, I mean, not necessarily good press, but like, I mean, they're well known, you know. And like Ken Griffin is also like fairly famous, the CEO of Citadel. He like goes on TV and stuff and talks. Yeah, like he has a Wikipedia article. I guess that makes him famous. Like the CEO of Optiver doesn't.
They don't.
Yeah.
You can make one for him. Well, most valued employee. You'll get some marbles for that. Either way, I'm trying to set the scene, right? You've done all of this research. Your parents are pushing you in this direction. You also reached out to.
They weren't pushing me very strong, by the way. I had to like beg them because they don't give input very often. They're like, "Yeah, you can make this decision. I trust you. They both are great companies, you know." And I'm like, "No, tell me which one." And they're like, "Okay, to Citadel."
And was their main reason because of compensation?
Yeah, I mean they pay more. Also, the name is like really, really big, right? Like you get Citadel on your resume.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a big thing, right? You know, go there. If you don't like it, just go apply to Optiver next year. But one of the things also is that I hate interviewing with a burning passion. Like it sucks.
You're pretty good at it.
Okay.
That's true. They don't have to be mutually exclusive.
And so it'd be nice if I could just go to a company, love it, and then
stay there for 30 years.
Yeah. Or you know, until who knows? Who knows what the future holds, right?
If you do well, you'll get to a point where companies want to recruit you, as in actively reach out with offers and stuff. Like that kind of stuff does happen.
Well, you still have to like talk to them, right?
Yeah. Well, but I think it's like very much expedited and made easier. Mm-hmm. I'm talking from experience where my dad, who's like worked as a software engineer / transition to like DevOps stuff and stuff like that. He talks about how he often gets like LinkedIn stuff and emails from recruiters about stuff where they literally. He was talking about this one time that there was like a company in China, and it was like literally offering him, I think, an offer already. Like there was no like interview process required or anything like that. So I think once you've gotten to a certain point and your skills are very valuable and you have a lot of experience, you could probably get to that point where you don't actually have to do interviews.
Yeah, I don't know about not having to do interviews. Like I remember the guy, this head of equities research that I talked to at Citadel. He told me he worked at Two Sigma for 13 years. He was like a big guy. He was like head of data engineering or something over there. Yeah. And then one day he gave a talk, and the CTO of Citadel was there. And they talked and they hit it off or whatever. And then, you know, one thing led to another, and he was having lunch with Ken Griffin, right? And I think that, I mean, I guess is that like an interview? You talk to the CEO of Citadel, and then he offers you a job. Like,
I guess that could be like an interview. I was saying like even more so, where it's like you don't actually even have to talk to really anyone.
Yeah, I know, but like that's my point, right? Like, yeah, there's still some interaction that has to happen.
True.
And that's kind of gross.
Well, I'm saying like
at least you're not doing leak code, yeah.
Yeah, and I think there are avenues. Maybe it's not at these top companies. They definitely probably want to talk with you first at least. But there's certain companies, like once they see the experience that you have and the stuff that you've done, I'm sure they would be willing to reach out without going through an interview.
Yeah, or I can leave and start your own business.
Yeah, that would be very exciting. Do you have that kind of spirit inside of you?
Oh, you know me. I'm a self-starter.
I definitely know that about you. It's the first thing I think about when I see your face.
Yeah.
Your work ethic, everything packaged into one. Smiling.
That's me.
Yep. So I was painting the picture, and I was bringing up all these points, right? Your parents gently suggested.
Dude, all the elevators were down except for one. Did you mention it? So
did I even mention that?
I mean, yeah, no, I guess not.
Where did that come from?
No, okay. I was late to my meeting with Mark Selleck.
Okay.
Well, almost. I was actually 1 minute early, but I had to like sprint there because this elevator was down right by the stairs, the one that usually takes.
Yeah.
The other one, so I mean, it was like going up one floor at a time. Everybody was there. It was completely full when I walked in, and then it was like slowly going down one floor at a time. And so I had like...
You probably could have just taken the stairs at that point.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really gonna take the stairs.
I would understand it if it's going up. Taking the stairs down isn't that bad.
Yeah, I guess not. I don't know, is it really faster though?
It is if it's going one at a time and
yeah,
the elevator has to go back up first.
It's like sunk cost, I guess. I was like waiting already for so long for the elevator.
Yeah, and then it would have made you even later if you...
Yeah. I made it there on time. I was out of breath. I was like, back through the mask. It was hard.
I'm hyperventilating because I'm having such a difficult time choosing between Citadel and Optiver.
Yeah.
No, Citadel and Citadel Securities and Optiver.
So, and then we talked.
And Facebook.
I'm like,
and Pinterest.
Oh yeah, Facebook. Facebook just sent me an email saying we have a panel with CMU alum. A CMU alum panel.
They didn't send me any email. What the fuck?
Well, I mean, it's to help me make my decision. I think.
Oh.
So.
Well, I want to talk to CMU. Actually, I don't.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh well.
Either way, so your parents gently pushing you in this direction. You also reached out to some students that had interned before.
Yeah, I reached out to Steven
Citadel.
And he
the
said,
great YouTuber.
Yeah, he said, go Citadel, securities, top tier, really good.
Is that where he went? The securities one?
Yeah, I also had a choice between the two. Citadel and the other one. He was like, yeah, you go to Florida, you get AirPods. It's lit.
Hey, you didn't even have to buy. You wouldn't have to buy your own AirPods.
That's another reason that I went with Optiver. It would be like redundant to get two AirPods.
Could have just resold them or returned it on Amazon. Yeah, like they haven't even arrived yet, have they?
No.
Could have canceled the order.
Yeah. So when we talked to me, Starlick and I mean, it was like a scheduled meeting.
Yeah.
He saw my schedule. It said. I think I called it "have cake and eat it too," and he was like,
"That's what you said."
Yeah, and he said more like "have cake and die." Yeah, he's so funny, dude. Stuff.
Dude, when I mentioned I had my meeting already 2 days ago, and when I mentioned that I wanted to do computer systems. And I said I was maybe hesitant because of how computer networks is going, how I might get a C. And then I was like, because I saw online on the computer systems concentration description, you have to at least get a C on everything and then like average a B. And then he's like, oh, don't worry about that. Like I'd fought with the people who are in charge of the computer systems concentration, whatever, and I won. So it was it's like that thing is not in effect, or it doesn't matter.
Cool.
And he's like, the way he described it was like, CMU tries to, at least they say in their policies, like not make students stress about their GPA and QPA, right? And then they go and try and do something here in computer systems where there's GPA requirements. He thinks that if the GPA requirement for something is more than you just having to pass, like it shouldn't be there. So either way, I'm glad he fought for that because I think that's a good thing in encouraging people to go for systems, because otherwise that's very daunting. Like,
Yeah,
especially like
with OS and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
So you saw your schedule and.
I mean, I didn't. So okay, he said OS, and I was like, okay, good, and then and distributed. And I was like, no. Because I
I
already
thought
knew
you
I
were
was gonna
doing
say.
distributed.
There's no way I can do distributed.
Why not?
And OS at the same time? There's no way.
Okay, so but you have to fulfill these systems courses.
I think I'm gonna graduate in 4 years.
Ooh. But are you still going to Grenoble?
Okay, of course. If I didn't go to Grenoble, I could graduate 3.5 easy peasy.
Okay, so you're going to Grenoble.
Yeah.
But you're graduating in 4 years now.
Yeah.
So one of your systems classes will be in that last semester.
Distributed in the spring of 2023.
Okay.
That's actually going to be like my only requirement that I have left. I'll be taking like one class. Yeah, and then at the end we talked, and he was like, "Okay, talk about Citadel and Optiver," and I was like, "Yeah, Optiver, good culture. I had fun talking with the recruiter and the people of the team. Citadel, not so much." And he was like, "Yeah, it seems like you want Optiver." And I was like, "Yeah, but my parents want Citadel. It's like bigger name and higher pay." And I was like, and then he said, now is the time in your life when you're going to be the most risk tolerant that you'll ever be, right? And so, if there ever was a time to go with the one that is a smaller name and pays less and whatever, is now, And even like, it's like, so it's a mild difference, right? It's like very barely is one more than the other. Like both of them, it's like almost guaranteed that you'll be successful, right? But like very slightly is he said the seesaw is tipped very slightly in Optiver's favor.
In Optiver's favor? Are you saying in terms of your position? Yeah. Okay.
And that is exactly what I wanted to hear. I just needed somebody that was not an Optiver recruiter to tell me that. I walked out. I was like, "Thank you, Mark Stellick. You were amazing. I'm going to go call my parents now and tell them I'm picking Optiver." And then I walked out the door and I called my parents and I was like, "I'm picking Optiver." And they're like, "Great. I support you." Because my parents are awesome.
Amazing.
And then I called the recruiter. Speaking of my parents being awesome, I think in the last podcast we talked about my parents too. I said how my mom like runs and stuff.
That was 2 podcasts ago,
okay.
But yeah.
And I said my dad just like goes to the gym and stuff. I completely forgot. My dad like is really good at golf.
Yeah.
Yeah. My dad's like that's like his passion in life, golf, and I just completely forgot to mention that.
Yeah. Does he play in tournaments?
Mm-hmm. And he wins too. He's like good.
Wow.
Yeah. He just won like first prize in the
Dallas.
the Indus Golf. It's called. It's like it's the Dallas Indian Golf People Association. It's bigger than you think it is. There's a lot of people in it.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So he's good, dude. He's good at golf.
What a successful family you've got. You're living up to it,
dude. Oh, and not only that, that's everything is connected, Patrick. There's a reason, of course, that I brought this up.
Okay.
It's not just the ramblings of a madman. So when you play golf, you meet people that play golf, and like the people that play golf are very often big shots,
and rich.
Yes. So one of his golf buddies' brother is a hedge fund manager in New York, and I don't know, another one of his relatives or something also was in that business or whatever.
Look at all these connections.
And so he set up a meeting with me and that guy.
Wow.
to help me with my dilemma, Citadel versus Optiver.
This was before your decision?
Before my decision. It was a few days ago, yeah.
And what did that person say? Citadel.
He said, if you're really ambitious, you stay close to where the money's being made, you learn the business, you get an MBA, and then you become a portfolio manager at a small at a small hedge fund. 10 people managing $1 billion, and then that's where you make your money. They'll give you $1 million. Say you may spend it however you want. You get to keep 20% of the profit. That's
That seems completely different from what you're aiming to do, though. Like,
Am I really aiming to do anything?
I don't know what you've been training to do with this degree at CMU.
Mm-hmm.
Like portfolio management, does that involve a lot of computer science?
No.
Exactly. So was that be something that you would be interested in doing?
Am I interested in computer science?
I feel like you have at least a small inkling of
That's
interest
true.
in computer science.
I don't like software engineering though very much.
Okay. Do you like portfolio management?
Okay, one of them makes like I don't want to curse so much on this podcast, but a ton of money, But it's also very hard to be good, and it's a lot of work. And if I wanted to go get an MBA, it's
that's what I was gonna ask. Do you want to go back to
and...
school and go get an MBA?
Yeah, I don't know, but also, I also want to be rich. So what can you do?
Noble goal.
Yeah.
So the culmination of these 2 weeks have been the final decision. Arrived.
Oh, and also the day before, I called my recruiter called me to see what I was doing, like what was up, and I was like,
she must only have you as an acceptee.
No, she was saying that like they never go after a candidate so much as they've gone after me. They were like telling me this. They were like, "We really want you." And that made me feel very.
They know the right buttons to push.
They really stroked my ego, bro.
Wow. You should ask for a few You should have asked for a few marbles already.
It's non-negotiable. The intern package. Also, the first year package is non-negotiable.
Well, I mean, if they want you so much.
No, they said it's standard for everybody. Everybody gets the same level. This is all in the name of transparency, right? They all have, they only have like 5 hours of interview tops, right, to evaluate everybody, and it's just not fair to give some people elevate. I mean, this is what they say. Okay, I don't know if it's true, right?
Yeah, I'm sure if someone was the son of a Optiver CEO, they could probably
No. I mean,
some strings pulled.
Is that even true? I don't know, because like these places are very meritocratic when it comes to like promoting.
Yeah, that's the public perception.
But it seems like that's the perception of the people on Team Blind that talk about Optiver and all these trading companies.
Okay.
Otherwise, because if they aren't like that, then they don't elevate. They don't what is it called? Recognize talent. If they don't recognize talent, they don't make money. That's their bottom line.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes sense for the successful ones to be meritocratic because those are the ones that survive.
Then you made it. You're successful.
Not yet.
Well, you're there. Your foot is in the door.
We've already talked about how I see life as a video game, right? It's like a strategy game.
Mm-hmm.
You're winning. This is just the beginning.
Yeah, but your
foot is the very first step. I've made like a baby step.
I think you've made more than a baby step.
This is I guess this is the end of the first phase of the game.
I know, but right. You have all the necessary statistics, the necessary skills in your skill tree to progress to the next stage at a very good position.
Yeah, I don't deny that, but there's a very long way to go.
I don't know. I think you've already made a good chunk of that. Like this first part, a lot of people find the most difficult, I would say. Just at least getting your foot in the door.
Yeah, I'm kind of
these kinds of institutions that really can lead to a lot of success.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know.
You're saying you're kind of lucky?
Yeah, I'm extremely. I'm not kind of lucky, dude. I mean, it's like borderline divine intervention, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like checkmate atheists. I mean,
how do you explain this?
There's no logical explanation for how fortunate I've been in my life. It actually does not make sense, dude. I've somehow gotten by with like doing minimal at work in anything I've ever put my mind to. It's like inexplicable, you know.
And how do you feel about it?
A little bit unfair. I mean, there's lots of people that work harder than me, who are smarter than me, who are not nearly as fortunate. Yeah.
So with that in mind,
I'll gladly accept the money. Thank you.
make the best of it. That's good.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you ever feel like that? I mean, you're a fairly hard worker. I think you deserve the position that you're in. You're also in a very solid state of things.
Yeah, I'm in a very fortunate position. I have parents that will bankroll my education, and I am growing up in America, which is in a very rich country with a lot of opportunities for career growth, especially in the field that I'm planning to work in, at least for a bit. And especially, I saw on Reddit, there was like a question about on CS career questions that someone was asking, what is your current salary or total compensation? It's just like, just say it out loud. And people were talking about how in Canada, like the compensation levels are way lower than the United States. And it's just like, well, that's like for every place in the world except for the United States.
In the U.S., like, is very weirdly inflated with its wages.
Yeah. Well, especially in this sector, like in tech, because that's like most of the tech that's happening. I guess you could say a lot of it is in the United States, and they want to really just spend money to get the best talent, I guess. So they're okay with spending a lot of money to people that aren't the best talent also, but might turn out to be the best talent at some point. So I'm in a very fortunate position as well.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. It's the CMU name, but even the fact that I'm here, kind of crazy. Because I thought I was going to UTD until the 27th of March.
I thought you were going to go to UMich.
Yeah, the 27th of March is when I got into UMich.
Oh.
And then the 28th of March is when I got into CDM.
So sad. UMich only gets one day.
Yeah. But, dude, I was so happy. Man, I found out, told my parents.
If you got to UMich, you could have actually gone to football games. Like, they have a competitive football program. Yeah. Does UT Dallas have a program?
No.
Wow.
They might have some things, but I know they don't. They definitely don't have football.
That's a shame.
Yeah. My friend, he recently broke a record though, university record for swimming at UTD. I think it was like 400 meter freestyle. Either 400 or 200. I don't really know swimming stuff.
Yeah.
But kudos to him.
Good for him.
Man. But yeah, I was. If I went to UTD, it definitely would not be in this position right now. And I very almost was. You know, little things like little tiny.
I think you could have. It would have been harder. Maybe a lot harder. I don't know if
for sure a lot harder.
I think harder, not a little harder.
Even getting the interview would be like hard. Yeah.
Yes, it'd be harder.
Yeah.
I think you could have still made it.
I don't know.
We won't know because
we'll never know. Yeah.
We don't live in a world of Doctor Strange and parallel universes. where we could just
check it out and see what happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We just won't know. But what we do know is that in this universe, you've resolved your internship woes, and now you're going to Optiver.
A fine cadence, I think.
Very nice. And hopefully that most definitely, most likely, it's going to lead to a great post-college employment route as well.
Yeah.
Which is...
But you never know. You gotta keep your head down.
Keep working.
Yeah, I mean, don't celebrate prematurely is what I always say.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can celebrate a bit.
Yeah, don't worry. I
You have. Bought a cake.
Literally
It was a good cake.
It was a good cake, yeah. You should get one too for...
No.
Okay, well at least you'll buy me Millie's. So.
I'm drowning in debt now.
Yeah, 2 million.
Metaphorical bet.
Yeah. I mean, I guess our only audience member already knows about this bet, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, Patrick lost the bet.
Wow.
And then we did a double or nothing on another friend.
Thank you for reminding me. I absolutely love that.
And now he owes me two million.